Recording in progress.
Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maya Luisa, and today's video we're going to be talking about several juicy topics. We're going to be talking about how to really magnify your presence, how to let go when you're on a date or with your partner, how to love yourself, what the real true meaning of self-love is. And we're also going to be talking about being seen and being comfortable being seen. So this is a very juicy episode, and I hope that you sit back and enjoy. So let's talk about this. This really sparked from one of my clients who she is great, jubilant, lively, she's funny, she's very smart. But then when she gets on a date, she gets a little like she shrinks and can really be in her head a lot when she's on a date. And so I was working with her as to why, and that was what sparked this video. So think about this. When you're in a restaurant and there's a woman that walks in, and there's just something about her that everybody looks at her. Everybody has to notice, even if they're not trying to notice, even if you just feel that presence. And then there are women that can walk into the restaurant and nobody will notice her. She just walks in completely kind of invisible. So what's going on between these two? In the first scenario, what happens is when we have a presence, when we have presence, when we have that energy, when we have that feeling of being in our wholeness, having a very strong essence, having a strong aura, it comes in it comes with this being okay with being seen. Because when you do have a big presence, when you do have a big aura, you have to be okay with people noticing you. You have to be okay with eyes are going to turn, people are going to notice you, and how does that feel? Because if you decide that it feels more comfortable to shrink, to hide, then there's something else going on. So building that magnetism, building that presence, building that aura, building that essence of who you are. I repeat this a lot, but it is coming from internally within you, and it is coming from the presence of your body, being in your body, being connected to your body. So I want you to try this. The next time that you're walking, anywhere you're walking, right? I want you to start to drop your energy down into your hips, into your pelvis, into your legs. I want you to slow down a little bit in your walking. And my namesake, Maya Angelou, said, walk like your hips move mountains. Walk like your hips move mountains. And so part of that is people are going to notice you. And if you notice that that gives you a little bit of anxiety or you start to get into your head, what's going on is you're not fully embodied in the body. You're jumping back into the mental space. So this can happen a lot if there's trauma in the body, maybe you were bullied as a young person or something like that. So you're going to want to work on strengthening your nervous system, toning your nervous system. And I'm going to dedicate a whole next video to that. Because when you're present in your body and you're present in the moment, you're not caring about what anyone else thinks. You're fully in the moment, and all you can feel is your own experience of the moment. All you're concerned with is, am I feeling good? Am I feeling pleasure? This feels amazing. This restaurant is beautiful. Oh my God, I love the decor. I love the smell. I can't wait to eat. You're not concerned with all these people who are looking at you because you're in the moment. You're in your body. And that is what creates that magnetism because you're not jumping out of your body, jumping out of your own experience to turn and be like, what do they think of me? Do they notice that my socks don't match, or, whatever, whatever you could be thinking. We're not jumping out of our own experience and trying to be someone we're not. We're fully in the experience. And I'm sure there have been times in your life when you felt that way. Probably after a workout, probably after dancing or something that makes you, or swimming, something that makes you really in your body. After that, when you're walking, you're not jumping out of your head trying to think about what other people think about you. You're just like in this experience of your body and experience of your life. So that is what increases that magnetism. That is what allows you to be in the body, to be in the moment. So the same thing could be happening when you're on a date. When you're on a date, and you are the type of person that finds that you can't really let go, that you can't really be yourself, that you feel like you have to shrink a little bit, or you feel like you have to be someone that you're not. What can happen, and what happens a lot, is that you can start to be so in your emotions that you're sensing more of the other person's energy than your own. And so you jump again out of yourself and you're thinking about, oh, he's an artsy type of guy. He probably wants an artsy type of girl. That would probably be his dream girl. Maybe if I'm a little bit more artsy, maybe if I'm a little bit more like this, he will like me more. Maybe maybe his dream girl is like an art type of girl. I can be like that. And so you start to like morph yourself a little bit to be what you perceive their dream girl to be, when in actuality, all they're looking for is you. They're not looking for what you think they want. They're looking for the actual version of you, the authentic version of you. And authenticity has many layers, but we're going to like a deeper layer of authenticity in this episode. So instead of thinking about what they want in a partner and how to morph into that, I want you to bring that energy back into you. What do you like? What what lights you up? What makes you feel amazing? What brings joy to your life? Who brings joy to your life? All of the things that you like, that you're about, be about that. If you like, for example, my partner loves football. I will never pretend that I love football, because I don't. I despise it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Anything about it, I don't like it. But I'm not gonna pretend like I do. I'm gonna be myself. Maya Luisa does not like football. American football, to me, I don't like it. But that doesn't mean that, I don't get him tickets to his favorite game and all of that stuff. But I'm not going to pretend that I'm something that I'm not. They want to know who you truly are. Because when you show who you truly are and then you love them, that's how they know that you really love them. And it goes the same for us. We don't want a guy that's pretending to be into the things that we're into. Because you can pick up on it and you're like, you're not really into that, but that was sweet, you know? You can always feel that. You can always feel when someone is genuine. You can always feel when someone has like an intense passion for something. And maybe you're not into that one thing, but if that's what makes them who they are, it makes you love them more because they're honoring their authenticity, they're honoring their passion, they're honoring who they are. And that is the most magnetic thing, because they're not trying to morph into whoever is in front of them. So be who you are, own it with all of you. And who is meant for you will love you just the way that you are. And what, if you think about even in your own life, there's people that have flaws, but when they own those flaws, it kind of makes you love them even more. When they're not perfect, but they're just themselves so fully, it's like you love them even more. You're like, oh my God, you're so amazing because you're like so confident, even though it's not perfect. It's like it's something that makes you just, it becomes more, you become more connected to them when there's not that facade of perfection. When you can see the imperfections. It's like a maybe it's very magnetic and connecting. It's very magnetic and connecting to just owning who you are. And the process of confidence and the process of self-love is something that what I'm gonna mention today has probably not been talked about ever. But real, true self-love for you is actually the love that you receive from your inner masculine. Your inner masculine. So, all of us have masculine and feminine energy. Yes. But most of us who are listening to this are feminine essence beings, meaning that your dominant core energy is feminine. Inside of you is a masculine, is your inner masculine. Your inner masculine is the part of you that is focused, that is driven, that is disciplined, that has this desire to fulfill your purpose, to fulfill your destiny on earth. There's a part of you inside that wants to penetrate the earth with your purpose. And that's different for every single person, but there's a part of you inside that is your inner masculine, that's your drive, that's your discipline, that's your focus. And for a lot of us, our inner masculine is very dormant. It's not awakened. And so we can think that, oh, I'm so in my masculine energy when you're actually in your wounded feminine. If you're at a job that you hate, if you're constantly a slave to your to-do list, if you have very weak boundaries, it's not that you're in your masculine. It's actually that you're in your wounded feminine and you need to wake your masculine up. That inner masculine does not tolerate anything. That inner masculine is the one that has the very strong boundaries. That inner masculine is the one that's going to keep you focused on fulfilling your destiny. That inner masculine is going to keep you consistent. It's going to keep you consistent. But the wounded feminine, that's the part of us that if you have like the lower energy scale of feminine energy, that's the one that's going to keep you in a feeling of servitude. If every single interaction when you go to, you pop other people on a pedestal and you pop yourself below. If you are working at a job that you hate and don't have an exit plan, if you constantly doing things for other people, putting other people first, that is the wounded feminine. That means you have to really work on awakening and strengthening your inner masculine. Observe healthy masculine men. I like to look at Bruce Lee. I don't know why. When I want to observe the masculine, men like Bruce Lee, who do what they say they're going to do. They're consistent, they're disciplined, they're focused, they're clear minded. That is that healthy masculine energy that all of us have. But when you have that awakened within you, that is the deep, deep love for yourself, because that is the deep, deep love of the inner masculine to the inner feminine within you. That is the alchemical marriage. That when you have that, you become an extremely powerful woman on the planet. Extremely powerful. So all of us have this inner masculine. The inner masculine is the one that's going to teach us, inspire us to honor our work. Our inner masculine is going to be the one that keeps us consistent. What happens when we're consistent? You get confident. When you're consistently working out, you build confidence in yourself because you can trust yourself, but then you also strengthen your body, you strengthen your mind. When you're consistent in eating healthy, you get more confidence. You sit different, you think differently about yourself. You don't let bullshit into your body. You have awakened this queen energy because you have now awakened the body temple. It's truly a temple. It's not just a place where I put trash in, but it awakens that regality. The inner masculine is self-love. The inner masculine is the key that opens that deep, deep self-love. Because when you're consistent, when you're clear-minded, when you can trust yourself, when you honor your word, when you honor your work. So that means that you have this idea that you want to do. You honor it. You show up consistently. Let's say you want to write a book. You're not just like, oh, I want to write a book and it's an idea and it's just something hidden within you. That inner masculine, when it's awakened, is like, what's the strategy? What's the plan? What am I doing every day to push the needle forward, even if it's a little bit, even if it's writing 1 page a day, even if it's researching, publishing, or whatever? Your inner masculine is going to be pushing that energy of making that book, of pushing that idea out into the world. That is the inner masculine. That's what gives you that strength of like honoring your work, honoring who you are, honoring your inner brilliance. That is the inner masculine. And that inner masculine loves your feminine. That inner masculine is the one that protects her. That inner masculine is the one that says, no, 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 that's not going to work. Bye bye. But when that inner masculine is not awakened, that's when the feminine becomes a doormat, or that's when the feminine can become basically get her energy sucked out of her by predators because she doesn't have that awakened inner masculine. That inner masculine is the alchemical marriage to truly, truly loving yourself, being consistent with your self-care, having those strong boundaries, honoring your work, honoring your purpose. You know, that is self-love. It's that it's that discipline, it's that focus, it's that clarity that comes from within you. So a lot of my clients and a lot of us, we want that and we're like admire it because our inner masculine might be suppressed or might not be awakened. We can look for all of that in a partner, and that's not his role. That's not his job. That's putting too much on him. You can want that in a partner, of course you do, because we love that healthy alpha masculine energy. But if you're just leaning on that of the external masculine, then you become too needy, too attached, and too empty. You're not full in wholeness. You're not in your queen energy because a queen has a very strong inner masculine. You come to him more as like a princess or liability because you're not in wholeness. So you might attach yourself to his purpose and attach yourself to what he's doing, and it's all about him. Meanwhile, your inner masculine is pretty much disgusted with you. Your inner masculine is like, hello, you have it in you too. So when we come to these energies of looking for our inner masculine, looking for that masculine energy in the external too much because our own inner masculine is not awakened, you can get into these very imbalanced relationships. And you can get all of your energy sucked out of you. And it can steal your radiance. It can cause lots of stress. It can cause lots of health issues. and it's just not healthy. So you want to always have this strong, healthy, masculine energy from within you, so that when you do come into relationship, you're coming from wholeness. You're coming from a place of knowing your purpose. You know what you're here to do. You're in love with your work, and you get to share your life and the journey of life with another person, and they're doing their thing and you're doing your thing, but you're not like leeching onto that energy, leeching onto the masculine energy because your own is not awakened. You come in it with a different energy that's very, very magnetic, and it creates that polarity. So in essence, also in being seen, it's very important also, the feminine does need to be seen. The feminine does need to be seen with other feminine. Think about a time when you did like a full moon gathering. If you've been to mine, you already know the vibes. If you've been to any type of feminine gathering where it was good energy, not like the other. Maybe you had a bad experience. Hopefully you haven't. Hopefully you've gone to a women's event and left and been like, oh my God, I feel so full. I feel so amazing. Why do I feel so loved? Why do I feel so seen? Why do I feel so full? Because part of our nature as feminine essence beings is to be seen by the feminine, is to be witnessed by her. And when we are in these sacred circles, when women come together and are just uplifted by each other, it's deeply nourishing. And then when you come to your relationships, you coming with that being seen, already filled up. It's already filled up. You're not like so needy and dependent upon your partner to see you, because you've been filled up by the feminine. You've been filled up by being seen and being nurtured by other women. So there's a book, it's called Dance of the Womb. You see my ring light? It's called Dance of the Womb. It's written by my teacher, Maha Al Musa. I'll put the information for her in the description box, but I'm just gonna read you a little section from her book, Dance of the Womb. And she wrote this book. She's amazing. She is of Palestinian and Lebanese roots. So she describes exactly what I'm saying. She describes it well in this passage right here. So in the passage before, she's talking about how she was at a family member's house and it was all women, and they were, doing henna to her hair, and they were eating and laughing and talking together and doing like different beauty rituals together, and it was just all the women gathering. And so she says, years later, I remember looking back on this event, reflecting upon my experience languishing in the private quarters of the women's house behind silken curtains that shielded us from the eyes of any male. There was something delicious about being protected within this elegant satin womb, surrounded by an assortment of women eating, drinking, talking, and accompanying me during this, my special princess beauty session. Experiencing this support and attention given to women by women in the family, blood upon blood, a sisterhood that seemed to weave its silent spell around each of us, gave me a spiritual connection I had never really known before. I realized that the fulfillment of a woman's sensual needs in Arab culture was created by the women themselves. By establishing a potent women's circle where we express our need for attention, love, praise, and nurturing for one another and our children, the relationships with our men, husbands, and brothers then became much more balanced affair, where a large part of a woman's need to be gratified is already taken care of. So that's exactly what, that's again, Dance of the Womb Maha Al Musa. I'll put in the description box. It's a beautiful book about her experience going visiting back home and about belly dance for pregnancy. So beautiful. So again, that illustrates what I'm talking about is this deep need that the feminine has to be seen and how we can fulfill that within our own sacred women's circles. And how by doing that, we have more balance in our relationships. In the Western world, we're so isolated. We depend so much on the other, like our relationships can be torn apart because it's so much pressure one on the other because we live in so much isolation. But we come into more community, we come into more wholeness. It brings more balance to our relationship and thus more polarity, more fun. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I think that's all I had to say. Maybe I have more to say. But yes, really, really ponder, think about the deep self-love that you have for yourself. Think about your inner masculine. Think about if that inner masculine needs to be awakened. Think about, journal about it. Journal about how that would feel to have a stronger inner masculine from within you, how that would feel in your work, in your relationships. Think about it, journal about it, and if you need assistance in awakening your feminine energy, in awakening your inner masculine, I do have my course, Radiant Goddess. It covers all of that and more, and I will link it in the description box. And be sure to join my newsletter to know about all of my events and get more feminine energy tips. I go deep into that newsletter too. So thank you so much. And also share this video if you want. Share it with someone that you love, that you'll be like, you know what? She needs to hear this. I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love.